Hey, welcome back to Phone a Friend News. I am one of your two hosts slash ambassadors of gaming, Chris.
And I'm Michael.
And today we've got everything and everything console. Um, well, I take that back. Not Nintendo. This episode's mainly just going to be all
Xbox
about
and
Xbox
PlayStation.
One and PlayStation. So I'm going to go ahead and start right now. Um, there was an update, or not? There was an update. There's a preview update out for Xbox One that kind of just adds in a few things. It lets you increases the party capacity from 12 to 16. And I don't have enough friends to
Yeah,
fill a party, um, both in real life, like close friends I'd want to actually play Xbox with, and in social, because I don't think I friend that many people on Xbox One.
I don't either.
Um, excuse me, I don't know why my throat's so raspy. What else on the? Oh, it finally brings like a backwards compatibility store. Until now, or up until now, um, you kind of had to put in the disc first through backwards compatibility in order to get access to these games. But now there's a store for it. If you want to, like, hey, you want to buy Peggle when they had it on Xbox,
Yeah,
go buy it. You want to buy Portal, go buy it. Which reminds me, I own Portal.
yeah.
I should probably download it.
They have the biggest reason is you can't get the free games. Like right now, you can't get the backwards compatible free games.
Mm.
So they're adding that so that you can just when you go to games with gold, it'll just show up there.
I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. That way you'll have access to 360's gold. Because funny story for you. I bought the Slim. I upgraded my 360 to a Slim, and it didn't. It only had the 4 gigs of memory built in. So I went and bought a third party uh, hard drive. You know, that went into the bottom. That was in a really awkward polygon shape. Um, and it worked awesome for me for like 2 years or however long the Slim was out.
Mhm.
Um, and then randomly, I didn't use it for a while because I was playing my Xbox One. And then when I turned it on, it just said there was an error about with the hard drive, and I pulled it out, and it was just fried. It was so hot.
It's so bad.
It was so hot. It wasn't like really fizz damage. You could see though that the plastic was like more malleable, like it was kind of messed up a little bit, so I could tell like it was just fried. And I was so angry because I had so much on that hard drive. I
Yeah,
had so much, as much as you can have on a 60 gig hard drive. But in my defense, games were smaller back then.
yeah. They were like 5 gigs at most, maybe like
Exact.
10 or 11.
Yeah. So, and at that point, I just took it to GameStop and I was take it. I don't want it. It wasn't even the console's fault. Um,
To be fair, now you don't really need it though, except for the games. You should probably keep the games.
I did keep two. I
The
kept two of them because they wouldn't pay me extra for them, and that was the hardened edition of the original Call of Duty Black Ops,
Ooh,
the one that came with like the metal,
yeah,
and then also the hardened edition of Modern Warfare 3.
yeah.
I kept those. I did keep those. You should see my entertainment center. It is loaded with next gen consoles plus a Wii.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, lots of games, lots of stuff. But I am branching off. So where was I going with that?
Uh, they added the store for backwards
Yeah,
compatibility,
so you'll
and
be able to have access to 360's games with gold eventually too, which is kind of cool. I like
yeah,
that.
because right now you just gotta go like online. You have to go to the Xbox store online, sign in, and then go to it and download it.
Yeah,
Not even download it, just like add it to your purchases. Then you can download it. That's kind of a pain.
it's pretty cool. Where was that thing? Um,
The Twitch thing.
no, hang on.
Oh, I forgot about that too. There's one more thing in there I forgot about. What you looking for?
I don't know. Something was mentioned in this article really weird. It says they're bringing up All right, listen to the way they wrote this. It just doesn't sound right. And this is all from
Okay.
TheVerge.com. Another highly requested feature is more control over DVR recording length.
Hmm.
Xbox One owners are currently restricted to 30-second clips, and there have been cumbersome methods to extend this feature. Microsoft will not allow Xbox One owners to adjust recording length to 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 1 second, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes.
Yes.
So he's bringing up, hey, here's another requested thing, but you can't have it.
You misread it. It says now. Well, now,
Oh, I
not
just
not.
suck at English.
Yeah, you just don't know the difference between a W and a T.
Why am I paying for college?
Oh my
Why am
goodness.
I paying for college? This is an awful idea.
There
Uh,
is probably the most exciting thing is that, and the fact that there's the trophies aren't, or not a trophies, achievements aren't going to be that thing that like snaps in now. It's just going to be like there. You can just
yeah.
look at it. Because I fucking hate when it, like, even if you're on the home screen, it'll just snap the trophies. I'm like, why?
Wait, snap
Or
the what?
the achievements, I'm sorry.
Keep your PlayStation to yourself.
I can't help it. I really
I
like
own a
trophies.
PlayStation. You got me a PlayStation, and I
I
still
did.
like Xbox more.
One day.
Stop listening.
You said Xbox. And it listened.
Oh yes.
It's great because the Connect listens mostly when you aren't talking to it.
Are you kidding me? That Connect works pretty well. I'm happy with it.
Mine's been working more lately, but I reset like all my settings. But
Well,
normally
your
I have
tech
to sit there
sucks.
and be like, okay, and then I can't say it because then it's gonna work this time and it's gonna piss me off. Um, but I'll just keep saying it and nothing will happen. It'll just sit there blankly, and I'm like, God
Yeah,
damn
your
it,
tech sucks. Your tech always sucks.
it's working fine now.
Did I
Not gonna
tell the
jinx
story
it.
about the Turtle Beaches to the camera yet? I don't
No,
think I
I
did.
don't think they know about the Turtle Beaches yet.
No. I gave Mike a pair of Xbox 360 Turtle Beaches that were working fine for me. He bought them from me, I think, for what, 40 bucks?
Yeah, something like the 40 or 50.
Quite a few years ago. And as soon as he bought them, he knew they worked. Like, I wasn't ripping him off. Like, he knew they worked. He had used them shortly earlier before. And I was just like, okay, well, you can have them. I don't want them.
Yeah.
And he bought them. And as soon as he bought them, he plugged them in and they just wouldn't work.
Yeah. No, they were just fucked.
Mike's tech always sucks. He bought a Slim about like 3 or 4 months after I bought one. And his went to crap before mine. Mine didn't even go to
It,
crap. I
it
just sold it
wasn't
because I was
even
out of anger.
it wasn't even like it went to shit. It just like it was just
You would press
slow.
his power button, and it just the sound wouldn't come on.
Yeah,
I thought it
my
was
Xbox now doesn't do that. When I tell it to turn on, and now it just doesn't make the sound anymore.
your shit's like hanging out of drawers and stuff.
It's not hanging
Like,
out of a drawer. It's in a big open space next to another Xbox.
oh my goodness,
Anyways,
this is real. Okay, uh,
are we done with this one?
where is?
Or
Hang
did you
on,
want
there's
to talk
one
about
more thing I thought I missed.
Twitch?
No,
No, you don't
I mean
want to.
there is Twitch. They're letting you use party chat audio, which is pretty cool. So if you're like playing with a group of people, um, I think pretty cool. It'll definitely open up more possibilities to people playing group games or multiple streamers working together.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's cool.
It's less work you have to do to like sync all your audio together and all that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's fun.
Okay, Mike, why don't you why don't you move on to yours?
Okay. This article was posted yesterday
Mm.
by Business at. It's all over the place though. You can find it anywhere. Sony announced that a couple weeks ago they announced that you could sign up for the new beta for 3.5 firmware, and that is supposed to happen today. People are supposed to. I heard earlier today they were getting the codes. It may not officially start until tomorrow though, March 3rd. But the beta testers are going to be checking out some of the new stuff coming in 3.5. It's not going to be a major update because PlayStation only does their major like overhaul of shit on like straight numbers. You know what I mean? Like 1.0, 2.0, that kind of shit. So this one's just going to be like adding some more features in. Let me tell you, some of these features I'm pretty excited about. You know what I'm not
Like,
excited about though? The fact that
hmm.
an ad just started playing while I'm talking. This is not okay.
Oh, internet.
Thank you. I can't even view the video to shut it up. Anyways, so I'm gonna scroll down this list here. So first of all, you can roll back to the older firmware if your system doesn't break immediately when you download it, which is why most people don't actually download those. Is because that can happen. We're having issues here. There's an ad play, so I'm just gonna talk with this off for a second.
Mute the tab.
I can't. I'm using Chrome. I'm just
I
gonna mute
use.
you for a second. Alright, there we go. Now I can speak clearly. I didn't mute you. I muted the audio. If you're talking, I can't hear you. The ad is that loud. I
No,
know
I'm
you're
just
not
kidding.
talking. There we go. Now I can hear you because the ad's over
I'm sitting
and
here
you
just.
weren't even talking. Anyways, so you can roll back to the older thing outside of the beta to the firmware we're at now. I don't know which one that is, to be completely honest with you. But let's see here. The first feature that they announced was that you can appear offline now on PSN, which is pretty great because sometimes I don't want to play with people, and then sometimes there's just people I don't know that I don't want them to know I'm online, like some of my Destiny friends. And I'm like, I really just don't want to get 64 Destiny invites right now, so I'm gonna appear offline. They're adding in notifications for when your friends come online, so that's great because I hate having to go to check my friends list to see if people are online because I'm super lazy. So
I'm noticing that all of these things you were saying
I've already been on
came out when
Xbox.
when 360 was freaking released.
You know what the worst part is? The PS3 had this stuff. They just figured like,
Or I'm sorry, the Xbox 360
yeah,
was what I meant to say. Was
the
when it was released. This all
yeah,
came with it.
the PS3 has it too. So I don't it. They were. I guess this wasn't on their like super high priority list, but that's there now. Um, and now they're enabling remote play for PC and Mac.
Which is cool.
I'm super excited for that. I think that was kind of a lot of people don't own the phones, like the Sony phones or a Vita. Don't get me wrong, there's people that own Vitas. I own a Vita. I like my Vita very much. But like it's good for people that have like their shit hooked up to like the main TV in the house. Like, like if somebody wants to watch something on TV,
Just like me.
yeah, you just remote play it to your computer so you can actually just play it there.
Which is cool because I have a 27-inch display right in front of me.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's see here. In terms of social features, you'll be able to schedule future gaming events with friends so a party can join in on the day of the event. You can easily play together with friends who are playing games as you boot your PS4. This can be done by joining a current session or playing a new game. Also, great news. You can join people's game from inside a party. Oh
You know who
my
already has that?
goodness. Xbox.
Just to clarify, before Mike had an Xbox One, and before I had a PS4, we did this for another website. And the whole reason Mike asked me, this was all Mike's idea. The whole reason Mike asked me originally to come do these with him was because I am an Xbox activist.
You are indeed.
And when I say that, PS4 isn't terrible. It's not terrible. There are definitely a few complaints I have with it. My biggest one is when I was in I think high school was when I early high school was when I got my 360. I changed my gamer tag so much,
Mm.
so much, so many stupid things. My first one was MP Sniper 17, and that was also the one that I ended with before my current one now. Um, I was Man with Wood.
69.
69, yes. I was
I
Man
love
with
that
Wood
one.
69. I was the Schmeedle, as stupid as that one is.
That's pretty funny.
I was only the Schmeedle, I think, for like 2 hours, and then I changed it. Uh, I was a lot of different things. Um, but let's say that had joined PSN and I was like 13, and so I make a PSN name, uh, Bona Cupcake 22.
Yeah, you're screwed. You're stuck with
You're
that.
screwed. Okay, and you use that same PSN name, and now you're all mature and old, and hey, guess what? You're still Bona Cupcake.
Yeah.
Like,
When
that's
when,
what you are.
when people want to add you, they're like, "What's your name?" And you're like, "Bone a cupcake."
Yeah.
Damn it.
These my grievances with PS4 are more minor grievances. Um,
Your issues generally stem from the PSN, not really from the PS4.
oh my gosh, do not even get me started. Okay,
Well, that issue in itself is just a PSN issue.
that
It's
is
not
so stupid.
specific to the PS4. The PS3 had the same issue. When they launched PSN, they were like, "Yeah, that's it. You can't change your name." Because the way they launched it was just like they just launched it in not a good fashion. It works decently now, at least.
Don't get me wrong, it's cool that they refund the time,
Yeah, but it's
but
still
I
obnoxious.
feel the fact in itself is like, yeah, I don't. It never comes into a factor of like, okay, I'm gonna hop on Xbox One. I hope the internet isn't down. Like, no, it isn't down. I mean, yeah, it's gone down maybe like once or twice in the past year, if that. Um,
It's gone down a lot this year for no reason. It's been pretty bad this year. It's like the
no.
worst
I'm
it's
talking
ever been.
about Xbox.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about Xbox. Like this year, it's been
Well,
the
they've
worst.
just had its update. Having an update is one thing,
Yeah,
but they tend to work out the bugs pretty quickly. But
they
oh
try to.
my
Yeah,
gosh, when I hop onto PSN, it just
it can be a mess sometimes.
it can be terrible. The whole nat type party issues are stupid.
Yeah,
Um,
I was having
and
that
I
issue
think
earlier
one of my
on
yeah
Xbox.
one of my biggest grievances. Seriously,
Yeah,
I've
because
never even seen that
somebody,
issue appear.
people were having some of the people in my party were we were all trying to play Call of Duty. And you know how Xbox Live in-game parties are like we tried to all like join in on each other. It was like they couldn't join in on me, but they could join in on their friend. And so they all had to join in on like one friend because they couldn't join in on anybody else in the party. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
it was weird.
I'm not saying that both of them don't have problems. I just feel like Xbox smooths them over sooner
They tried to, yeah.
and quicker than yeah, or at least they try to than PS4. And then the thing, another grievance I have, even though I've heard the exact opposite about Xbox, is I feel like PSN. I wanted to check if it heard me. I think PSN's organizational tools are terrible.
the
I
the
think that
PS4 software or the
yeah,
like the XMB?
the
Yeah, a lot of people don't
organization.
like the
There's just
XMB.
the home menu is just organized so terribly. Let's see here.
I'm hoping it comes out like when they do 4.0 they make it better because I don't really like you don't even know how bad PS3 was. It was so much worse. Like the PS3 XMB was one bar instead of the two bars you have now. It was all just one giant bar and it all came down like this. So like if you wanted to go to a game you had to go to the game tab, then go down and then find the game you wanted. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's I just feel like it's organized terribly, but oddly enough, I read online that people think the exact opposite. People go like, I go into Xbox One and everything is ass backwards. I don't know how to find anything, and they say like PS4 is organized so well, and I'm like,
They're both like you need to know where to look for shit. Like it's
yeah,
just what you're most accustomed to. Like sometimes I don't know where the
you
fuck
know,
I'm supposed to go on Xbox when it comes to like my settings and shit. I'm like I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going with this.
it really helps. Well, it doesn't help, but my current gamer tag, Agent Goostapho. Goostapho is a game. Goostapho is a name that Mike gave me on a play off of the pronunciation of Goostapher.
Yeah.
Um, as my name is Chris. Um, but a lot of people think it says because it's spelled remarkably close to Gestapo,
Gustavo, yeah, they get mad.
and be and the irony is that my last name is the most German you'll ever hear. Oh my
It is.
goodness,
It's
it
Schmiedel.
it is very German.
It's so German.
Inc- incredibly German. And so people go like, "Hey, Gestapo," or like they'll either call me agent or they'll call me Gestapo, and I'm like, I am not a member of the Gestapo.
I'm
But
not part of the
you know what's
Goostapho.
good news? You know what's good news? I could change it if I wanted to.
Yeah, not on PSN though. On PSN,
I'm looking at you, PSN executives.
you're forever
Get it
you're
together.
forever Agent Goostapho on PSN until someday like
Yeah.
random as fuck. It'll be like fucking July 17th, some random ass day, and they'll be like, "Oh, by the way, you can change your names now."
What if I misspelled it?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, my MacBook Pro, I misspelled my name when I was making it or when I was like signing into it for the first time, and now my computer identifies it as Chias's MacBook Pro, and every time I see it, it makes me so mad. It makes me incredibly mad. What if I would have
it cracks
misspelled
me up.
Agent Gustavo?
It would have been really bad for you. You would have been stuck with it forever, or you could just have
I would
changed
have been,
it.
oh my
You
God.
could have just made a new one, and it would have been all right.
I would have had,
As long as you didn't
no,
put in your
no,
PlayStation Plus, then you would have been fucked. Then it
yeah,
would have been all bad.
no, never. I would have to go out and pay $60 more to get PSN again because I'd have to make a
He'd
whole new account.
he'd be that upset.
I'd do it. Oh my goodness. Okay, but I'm getting too far off topic. We've been on this one
Yeah,
forever.
go ahead.
Oh my
Go
gosh.
with your next.
Okay. So next one, while we were talking about like Windows 10 and Xbox One updates, supposedly they may be releasing a version of the Xbox One that allows you to like swap out components.
That's what it
The,
sounds like, at
yeah,
least.
what I gather from this article on Flipboard is that they're Windows is trying to bridge the gap between PC gaming and console gaming.
Hmm.
Um, like they want games to kind of be a little interchangeable a little bit. Excuse me. And so I think what they're going for is the games that only run with higher specs you need on like a computer um, can't be run on a console. Um,
Exactly. And it creates
so they're
longevity.
mhm.
So, anyways, go ahead.
So they're talking about possibly releasing a box that you could swap out and buy components. And yeah, well, like he was saying, they talk about how you use your Xbox for a while, and then eventually a huge update comes along to it. Like physically, I mean, like you go from your 360 to your 360 Slim after you've played it for like 4 years or something, 3 or 4 years, and then to the Xbox One. They're talking about, well, what if you do these hardware upgrades slowly, as opposed to just waiting for the whole new one to come out? Like, you know what?
Exactly.
I think it's a really cool idea.
As long as it's not as expensive as PC parts. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, it probably would be. It's Microsoft. They will jab you.
Well,
You remember what they tried to do when the Xbox One was announced?
yeah, they wouldn't disconnect the Kinect or let you play offline or play used games.
Yeah. You need the Kinect. You weren't able to buy used games. Do you have any idea how many people dropped their pre-order?
A lot. The same thing with
Almost
the Kinect.
half.
Did you hear about the Marine thing?
Almost half. Yeah, yeah. I was the one that told you that.
The online thing with the Marine? I saw that too. And then I had forgot about it.
Yeah, a Marine was asking. He was like, "Hey, I'm overseas, like, and we don't have that kind of local internet on the boat that I'm on. So, how am I supposed to play your new console?" And they sarcastically go, "Oh, well, I've got a great product for you. It's called the Xbox 360."
Yeah, I was like, wow, way to be a fucking dick.
Dude, you have your loyal customers, like customers that are here because they're like, dude, the 360 was awesome. And they're coming back to you, and you're gonna get, for one, you're gonna gouge them for money,
Yeah.
for more money, and you're gonna
Insult them.
insult them.
And
Almost half of the people dropped their pre-orders
it
after
never
that.
goes well when you insult a military member, ever. Just not look good for you in PR. Like, I really hope the
Yeah.
guy that said that to that guy got fired. Because that was a fucking terrible decision. I don't know who told him that was a good idea. Like, if I saw that and I worked at Microsoft, I would have been like, you're fucking gone, pack your shit. Like, that is a terrible stunt, and then I would have to make a public apology about it. because that's
It's
just not
just
okay.
awful. It almost made me a little sad because, these companies wouldn't be what they are. Like whenever you go to concerts, you see, like artists go like, "Hey, I wouldn't be where I am without all of you guys, without everyone here supporting me." Like most people have one console or the other.
Exactly.
Like
We're one of
and
the
they
few
they
that
and
have
they take the
multiple.
sacrifices with them. Like if you had a 360, sorry, you weren't playing Kingdom Hearts 2. Or if you have a PlayStation, sorry, you're not playing Halo. Or
Yeah,
I mean a PS3, you're not playing Halo. Um so it's a big deal, like all of these people are loyal to you and I
and
thought
you're
it was
just
just a
gonna shit
really
on them,
yeah,
like,
it was just a really bad thing to do to people that are there like supporting you who are already shelling out a bunch of money
like
to play games, and
I'm
you're gonna gouge them for more money.
I'm
That's
root.
terrible.
As far as I know, like the CEO stepped down before the Xbox One even came out, I think, and that's when Phil Spencer came in, or he came in like after launch. Basically, once he had already fucked everything up for them, then they like the dude stepped down and Phil Spencer came in, and ever since then he's been like trying to turn the boat around and make it fucking like work. You know what I mean? And being like, we hear you. We want to be about games. We want to do this. We want to do that. We're bringing you backwards compatibility. Like he's been trying to win everybody's favor back as much as he can.
This makes me think of the guy's cleaning out his desk, and he like leaves the office for the last time with like his box with all of his like desk stuff in it. He walks back in like 5 minutes later and looks around, and the reception person's like, "Hey, hey, you good?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I just want to make sure that there wasn't anything I didn't fuck up yet." Okay, bye.
The guy that got fired for PR, instead of a box, I feel like his punishment should have been to put all of his shit in an empty 360 husk. Like just take all the shit out of a 360 and just make him put all of his shit in it. And it's like whatever you can't fit in there, fuck you. Sucks
I
to
don't
suck.
know. You know, it's just I don't know. It really does tick me off that you're gonna treat your fans like that,
Yeah.
or your fans, your like
Customers.
yeah, your
The
customers
people
like that.
that literally pay you.
It's an awful thing to do. But the reality is, Microsoft didn't get to be
Giant
the
tech.
giant that it is now without gouging people for money.
True.
Unfortunately, it's how it is.
True.
But they do give you free Office. They
Do
do
they?
give you free Microsoft Office if you're a student, which is cool.
I didn't
That's
know.
how
I just
that,
assumed it was in my
that's how I
bill.
got. Nope, nope. That's how I got. I have Win Office for Mac, um, 2016 on my Mac Mini, free
Nice.
download because I use my Kent email. I go to Kent
Nice.
State University. Um, okay. I'm sorry. I got
We got on another tangent.
no angry. Like that. No,
Anyways,
it's just it's a rude thing to do.
it is.
It's just not nice to try and
I'm not
do that.
trying to shit on Xbox employees. I'm just trying to shit on that one specifically.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy.
it's probably not that employee, like,
I hope
or
he's
it's
gone.
that employee. It's those employees. It's just
Yeah.
dude. You know what's a great idea? All these guys are here, like waiting to see what we did. Like, why don't we just make them pay more? Let's just make them pay more money. Dude, you know what's an even better idea? Insult a Marine.
Best idea.
Let's do it.
Dude, that'll be the
Did we
greatest
just become
PR
best
campaign.
friends? Yep. Did we also just get fired? Probably. Um,
I hope so.
but anyway, just going back, the PC parts will probably be probably a little bit more expensive, most likely. But I don't know if they'll be as expensive as PC parts. Because at that point, if they're just going to merge the barrier, if they're just going to break down the barrier, you may as well just go get a gaming PC at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they probably will still be price differences between components. But of course, that means if you have an Xbox One now, they didn't state this in the article, but I can go ahead and assume if they're like, hey, you can buy parts, you're going to have to buy a new box to put it in because the current box, isn't really designed for modifications.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
gotcha.
I'm hoping you could literally just take your, let's say you take your, maybe they'll have a program where you mail in your Xbox One and they just put all the internals in a new box.
That'll be cool. Or you
They'd have
can
to
just
rearrange things too
yeah,
to
yeah,
make things easily accessible. They'd have to
yeah.
redesign the whole internals
My
to
guess would
make
be
everything be able to pull up.
my guess would be when they come out with the Slim. They'll just come out with a Slim and just have it, and then it's like if you have the old Xbox One, they'll probably do some type of deal. You know what I mean? Like trade in your Xbox One and get like half off or 3/4 off or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Microsoft's all about like trying to win people over right now.
Mike, is that the reverse flash I see on your shelf?
Somewhere. Yeah, over here.
Oh,
This is indeed the Reverse Flash. He's quite adorable.
you know who's even more adorable? Barry Allen.
Son Goku.
Goku's in the bedroom.
Goku is indeed in the bedroom, along
I
with
have a lot of them. I've Bender
Kratos.
and the Robot Devil on my PS4.
You know what is slightly terrifying though, is these loot crate mugs of Venom and Carnage that I see every night when I go to sleep. Just like right in my view. Look at this fucking thing. Look at this. It's fucking terrifying. Late at night when you're
Okay,
just
we
sleeping.
keep branching off.
Oh yeah,
But
go ahead.
anyway, Xbox One parts. They'll be expensive, but not too
Probably.
expensive. Moving on.
Moving on.
Uh, all
Now
right,
to
you have bad news.
I have two
You bad.
pieces of bad news. Technically, in the same article. It's a 2-for-1. Double whammy. Uh, so there's two things. The first thing, which probably isn't going to affect that many people, is that the PlayStation TV is being discontinued in Japan, which means it'll probably be discontinued everywhere else. And that was off one of the websites saying they were no longer shipping it anymore. So they just from what Sony's not said anything about it yet, so I don't know if it's like 100% confirmed that they're just like scrapping it and they're done with it. And then the other bad news is they are closing down the PlayStation Store for the PSP on the 31st.
People will be like, "Wait, PSP? That's still a thing?"
You'd be surprised. There's actually still PSP games that come out.
Hmm.
The PSP sold very well, but mostly because you could break the shit out of it. Which is why the Vita
My
has
buddy had a
no memory
PSP.
cards. Yeah, did he break the shit out of it? Like, play homebrew games and shit on it? No.
It was Adam.
Oh. That's what most people did. They just, like, basically jailbroke it. And then you could download, like, Game Boy games on it, Game Boy Advance games on it. And you could just, like, use it as a giant emulator for, like, anything.
Yeah, dude, that
It
was
was like,
broken.
ridiculous. It
That was
was.
seriously broken.
I
I knew
was.
someone that turned his into a phone.
Yeah. It was, the security in it wasn't as up to date as they didn't think anybody was gonna fuck with it that bad. Then they learned, and then they came out with the Vita with the fucking memory cards that are like normal SD cards but slightly fucked up a little bit, so that way you can't use a normal one. Anyways, so in this article I'm reading, where is this from? Cog Connected. They explain that there's still ways for you to download games from the PlayStation Store, but only if you have a PS3. So what you would have to do is sign in to the PS3, connect the PSP to the PS3 with a USB cable, copy the files to the memory stick inside, and then insert that into the PSP. Then go to settings, USB connection. On the PS3, go to the game you want to copy under game. Press triangle. Copy it. Follow the on-screen instructions. And after copying is complete, you can start the game.
Michael,
Yes.
I don't really think people are coming to watch this video for you to tell them how to.
I just said it's there, alright? Somebody out there is going to be pissed.
You give terrible instructions.
I just read the instructions word for word.
I would love to be building an IKEA desk and call you and have you have the instruction booklet and see what shape it turn out in at the end. Like, seriously. Yeah.
It would be
It'd
so
look like
bad.
a dog.
I would just Skype you and just hold it up. That's what I would do.
You know what this makes me think of?
What?
When you were talking about people breaking completely breaking the software. There was that picture I saw of a guy that was able to run Windows 95 on a new 3DS.
Oh yeah. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Not on this, but we talked about it on the side. Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, that's borderline impressive.
That is impressive, especially because that's not really that. I mean, then again, this is like the decade of technology. We've made huge jumps
Leaps and bounds.
in the last
Ridiculous.
10 years, or in the last like 15 years at least.
From what I hear, I think it's less than a year. It's like every couple of months, the amount of power that is currently available on the market doubles.
Yeah.
So like
Uh,
it just becomes fucking ridiculous.
Apple came out with the first iPhone in 2001.
Yeah. And
Wait,
now
yeah, in 2001. Yeah, that was right. First iPhone
2001,
was released, I
yeah,
think.
or 2004, maybe. I think 2004. Don't quote me
Wait,
on it.
wasn't 2004 the iPad?
No, I don't think so. The iPad didn't come out until we were in high school,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
Search that up.
I am.
When did the first
We're gonna go to the good
iPhone
old Wikipedia here. Let's see.
I might be thinking of the iPod.
The first generation iPhone was released on June 29th, 2007. We were both wrong.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you
Yeah,
have
search.
frozen. Now, what do you want me to do? You froze
You
for a
tell me
second.
if the first. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Will
Like,
you search and see if the iPad or the iPod was released in 2001?
I will.
Because I think that's right.
Let's find out. iPod. That I believe. Yeah, 2001.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks.
Yep.
But yeah, what I'm saying is once the iPhone was released, that totally changed the game.
Basically,
You
it was the
know,
first like smartphone. It was the first like real smartphone. All the
not
other
like
ones were pocket
not that
PCs.
was essentially like a PDA with a phone built into it, like the Palm
Yeah.
Trio. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I definitely say that you know, I would say Windows 95 probably isn't that sophisticated. It can't be, not with.
Not as much as XP was.
Yeah.
XP was where like Windows really made their mark. Like 95 was
Yeah.
like a thing, but then XP lasted for fucking ever. XP was like their
Mhm.
operating system for like 6 years. I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, PSP, sad news. Vita TV, bye bye.
It is. I guess it's kind of a shame, but I feel like the PSP probably really isn't a thing anymore.
Well, if they,
I'm not saying people don't have it, but probably there
yeah,
isn't too much activity that happens on it.
at least not like when it comes to legitimately buying games from PlayStation, people probably just pirate them, to be
Hmm.
honest. So, I mean, it makes no sense to spend the money on that when they could just make the PS4 and PS3 better and the Vita better.
And I'm sorry, all this talking about games is just make me think of Pokemon Go and how much I want it.
I keep looking at it and I'm like, I'm not gonna like it. I know I'm not gonna like it.
I think you will. It's the way it's described is it is essentially the Pokemon we all know, just with no story.
No. Well, to me, it sounds like I'm just gonna be walking around like a dumbass, holding my phone up, looking around me all the time, trying to find Pokemon. That's what it
Dude,
sounds like.
there's so many meme comics. Like a kid gets up in the middle class and the teacher's like, "I'm not done with my class yet." He goes, "There's an Eevee in the courtyard," and the teacher's like, "Oh my God, go!" Or
That's
there's
never
one where
gonna happen.
a guy's in the Vatican. He's just like he's like, and like, what are you doing here, son? And he goes like, "I'm looking for Arceus." He says, "You're gonna have to battle me first."
Oh my god, that would be
There's so
funny.
many
No,
Pokemon jokes.
that'd be funny. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
the Pope wants
And
to
plus, my
battle.
favorite Pokemon. It's confirmed that stones for Stones will be like a microtransaction. And my favorite Pokemon evolves by a stone. So,
Uh,
yay! For those of you that do not know,
Gardevoir?
that Pokemon is Gallade.
Gallade, not Gardevoir. My bad. Gardevoir is the female version, right?
Gardevoir is the female version. Yes. If you do not know who Gallade is, I'm sorry. He is a psychic fight type, contradictory, and he is the result of using a Dawnstone on a male Kirlia. And they gave him a Mega Evolution in
And
in
you were
Alpha Sapphire,
stoked.
which makes him look like a superhero, and I love superheroes. That is my spirit Pokemon.
You were
It
so
really is.
stoked.
I am. That's my favorite Pokemon, but I'm gonna go ahead and be a hipster here. I liked him before he was Mega.
I liked him before he was cool.
I have a bunch of cool nicknames for him too. Lancelot,
Alright.
Link,
Okay.
and if there's a shiny one, if you're Destiny, you can name it Blade Dancer or Arc Blade.
Hmm.
Because when it's shiny, it's blue.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I got nicknames galore for Gallade. Link is probably my favorite though.
The probability of you finding a shiny male is like absolutely the most minuscule fucking thing I've probably ever heard of.
Yeah.
That's like getting a shiny fucking legendary.
Hey,
Good luck.
Cuddle of Death YouTuber in Alpha Sapphire, she through soft resets, she ran into a shiny Lugia in less than 500 soft resets.
That's pretty lucky.
That's impressive. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty lucky.
that's pretty cool.
Soft resets just turn
Uh,
off the game, right?
yeah, soft reset is
Without
you go
saving.
into the battle, and if it's not shiny, you just shut your game off, turn it back
Uh,
on, rinse, repeat. So
Fair
I
enough.
think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I know that through IV manipulating, um, shiny males are not easy to come by,
No. Not by
which
a
kind of
long
sucks.
stretch. Anyways, you
I've
want
accepted it though.
you
Those are
want
just cool names I came up with for Gallade because he's cool.
you want to close us out?
Oh no, we didn't talk about our last one.
No, we did not.
Um, so I'll let Mike talk about this one with me because I didn't really read this. It was more so the title that caught my eye. Um, Phil Spencer, CEO of Xbox, um,
It's my BFF
says
Phil.
that yeah, says that they don't judge their success by sales anymore. They but by active users, and we all know why. Because Xbox being not PS4 is the one that's dominating this generation
Yeah, right now, at least.
right now. But that's what happens when Xbox shoots himself in the foot. But I'm not going to go back there. Don't worry. Um, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
So basically, what they're going by is essentially gamer tag. At least that's what I've come by. Because a lot of people, a lot of families just have one console.
Mm.
So, but if you've got like I've known, oh, I knew a guy named Nick back in high school, and he had three brothers,
Oh
and they all
yeah,
had to share an Xbox, and then eventually they all just bought their own. So
yeah.
there were four Xboxes in their house. Oh
Jesus.
my gosh. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. They do it per month by the amount of people online. Yeah, and they check that
So
from Xbox One, Windows, and 360. So they just combine all of the numbers together.
yeah, the last time there was a press conference and someone brought up the question, how does it feel, like to be second after the 360 was the runner? And they were like, and of course they said the thing that losers would say, we're not focused on our success. We're not focused on who's in first. We just want to make great games, which is not gonna, it makes me sound rude. I'm not trying to be rude, even though that sounded
Yeah,
really rude.
I
Um,
might be wrong, but fun fact: Phil Spencer likes to play lots of games, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he owns a PlayStation.
I see people are too worried about media. Like,
Yeah, I
and the
know.
fact is that like the media is that people don't understand. Media is ruthless.
Yeah, oh, I know.
Like
They'll fucking tear you to shreds for no
media,
reason.
media, media is ruthless. They will do anything to
Make a story.
make a story. Like
That's all
they'll
they
take it.
care about.
Let me think of an example. Like they'll even make shit up. Like
Sometimes they will. Like the headline for this is even kind of clickbaity. The headline for this article is Phil Spencer shares why Microsoft won't use Xbox One sales anymore to gauge success, comma, but active users. Whereas they could have just said Phil Spencer says Microsoft will gauge their success by active users.
True. It's like what am I thinking of? Like, watch someone will go up to Phil Spencer's house and see him playing like PlayStation with his son or something, and they'll like take a picture of it, put it on an article that it just says like
Phil Spencer's
Xbox
giving up on
CEO Xbox CEO gives up hope on current generation consoles.
Like the dude,
The
just
media
let him
is
live his fucking life.
no, dude, they
Give Phil
never
Spencer a
will.
break. He does
Dude,
good shit.
the media will
He
tear
works
you to
hard.
shreds, just tear you to shreds. If he has more than one console, I think that's awesome. If there's one thing that's cool, it's when, same thing with Nintendo. Like, have you seen any of the pictures that they post on like their Twitters or stuff? They don't post official stuff. They post like there's a picture of Reggie holding a little Pikmin above his head, like just doing stupid stuff. Like,
Yeah,
that's awesome. If Phil Spencer has a PS4, that's cool. That's
like
awesome.
whatever.
Like,
What
I'm
does it
glad that
matter?
you're not so narrow to go like, no, I CEO of Xbox. That's all I believe in. Like,
Like
not at
he can
all.
own an
That's
Xbox or a
cool.
PlayStation if he wants. But
Yeah, leave people alone, man.
in here, I think it's funny though because, of course, they're gonna get shit on for this because everybody likes to shit on everybody. But in here, he says the reason why they switched this was I'm trying to find it specifically here. Um, he says it's not about how many consoles we sell. He goes, if we sold a console 2 years ago and now it's just collecting dust in a closet, that's not any good for gamers or developers or for us. Like, if somebody buys one and never uses it, what does it matter? And he says that the other risk they're taking with using that as their metric now is that that number can go down. You can't unsell an Xbox.
Hmm.
Like, once it's sold, it's sold. So, and so he talks about that, and part of the reason they're doing that too is because then they can show that number to developers and things like that to help try to get like exclusives and things like that, and to show like, hey, look, Sony has this many active users per month. This is how many we have. So, I mean, it's up to you where you want to put your game or whatever. We're just putting the offer on the table, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's his thing. I think mostly is that they're trying to get a more honest measurement of how many people are playing, which is, I think, fair. Because Sony sold what, like 35 million PS4s, I think, already. But let's be honest, how many of them are active on a daily or even a weekly basis? Probably a very small percentage. Probably maybe like
Hmm.
25% at most use their PS4 every day. And I'm talking about playing games. Like playing games online every day. That's probably a super small percentage. So it's a good statistic to go by for them. And it's not completely
It
bitching
is.
out.
No, it's really not. Like, you would think people would go like, "Oh, that's just they're just judging it by that because they're not selling as many consoles." It's like it's true they're not selling as many consoles, but that's a much more accurate. What am I thinking of? There's a term for an outlier, um, where like a third something or other when you're doing research on something or trying to measure something, there's a
The median?
just a third variable. No, it's just
Oh,
an
okay.
outside variable
The
or like
outlier?
it starts with a C. I can't remember.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What
You
is
lost
that
me.
word?
You lost me here.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna drive me nuts. But it starts with a C, and it
Okay.
and it essentially means oh no, there it is, correlation. There it is.
Yeah,
Um,
correlation. Okay.
yeah, they find a better, more accurate correlation as opposed to how many consoles sold is equal to how many gamers there are. There's now how many active users are actually online.
Mm-hmm.
That's way better because
Here,
I barely ever use my Wii U. I play Smash with my girlfriend and some Mario Kart here and there. But aside from that, I really don't use my Wii U that much.
I haven't touched my Wii
So
U in like 2 weeks. So,
yeah. Well, you just binge play games. You binge play like I binge watch House of Cards and
that's the
other
worst
shows as
part.
soon as they come
Is
out.
I have Yoshi's Woolly World, and that game's perfect to binge. That game is super long, even for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to bring this up. Or I just wanted to read some more off of here because, like I said, a lot of people know, but not like the super hardcore, that aren't like always into this stuff. That Phil Spencer actually gives a shit. Like he actually gives a shit about his customers, or at least he plays that card. At least he tries to make it
Hmm.
seem like that. So in here he goes, we focus on monthly active users because we know that those are gamers that are making a conscious choice to play our content, our games, our platform, our service, to go play games. And we want to gauge our success on how happy and engaged those customers are. And he goes, and it means we need to keep them happy. So we have some live issues like we had in the last week. He's talking about the outage they had when they first like did like a mini update or whatever, or that February update. He's talking about that when it went down for like 3 or 4 days, where it was just having issues in a row. Um,
Hear that, PSN? Xbox addresses its online issues.
and then he said, and that's not great for our users online count. And so if we go along, and he go, and it does an ellipses here, so there's probably more. But he says if we go on a long stretch without great games on our platform, that's gonna screw us. Like then people are gonna stop playing if we don't have games that people want to play. So they're using this to try to create just a better community in general. And here, I'll finish reading the last thing he said. But we did that because we do think that for you, the press, for the gaming development community who wants to know how many people they get to by building these games, and the gamers themselves, that how many people we have playing our consoles is a fundamental point of how we're doing. This is the metric that we should all be looking at.
Yeah.
So to be fair, he makes a good point. People are still going to say they're bitching out because they won't give sales numbers. But I do think he has the right idea with the monthly user thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Because
But
that's
we
why the
have
Wii U
been,
doesn't do its thing.
yeah.
Oh, I
We,
lied. I have one more thing for you.
hmm,
It's small. Tomorrow is a Nintendo Direct. I forget what time. They're supposed to be announcing all the games
Ooh,
and release dates for summer. But they didn't say
this is
what.
good.
So yes, there's Wii U news tomorrow, March 3rd. Nintendo Direct. I don't know what time. Don't get mad at me.
I'm not getting mad at you.
Not you, the
They
internet.
might.
The internet gets mad.
But anyway, and I don't know what Mike's gonna do, but I'm gonna get out of here and play some Pokemon Blue because that
Oh,
game
sure.
just recently was re-released and it's really good. But anyway, check out our other videos. I know Mike uploads more often than I do. Once, I think in a few days, what's it called? Comes out for Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Awakening.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Fucking Black
I'll
Ops.
shoot you
DLC comes out
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
But I'll probably be uploading some map analysis and probably some gameplay too. So that's cool. Um,
And the Division
but
next week.
anyway, I'm Ambassador. Oh, and the Division comes out on Monday. We will
Tuesday.
probably be Tuesday. Well,
Start.
Monday at midnight.
Close enough.
Uh, Monday evening. How about that? Will that
Fair
satisfy
enough.
you?
Fair enough.
Damn it. But anyway, we'll be playing that, and then we'll definitely be uploading some video and some news and talk about the game and whatnot. Maybe we'll even make a video series about what our first impressions of our games, and then what we think of them like later on. I think that'd be a really cool idea.
Yeah,
What do you think, Mike?
like a now and later kind of thing, yeah.
Yep. Let the
Because
internet
your taste
now.
changes.
Oh my goodness, that's a good idea for videos.
Don't steal our idea. I'm gonna cut it
Don't.
out.
But anyway, I am Ambassador Chris,
I'm Ambassador Michael.
and this is an Apple Watch with a really nice band on it.
Every fucking time
Guess how
with the
much?
goddamn Apple Watch.
Guess how much this band cost? It's how
12,
much, internet?
$12.
10. 10.
10, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
10.
Don't get angry.
Eat
Internet.
that, Apple $150 band. Okay.
Don't talk shit to
bye.
Apple.